Good morning, scholars.
Good morning,
Morning, ma'am.
Today we will start a new topic, that is chapter number 7, diversity in living organisms. Now, what is diversity? Anyone else would like to tell what is diversity? Yes, Vansh?
Classification.
Okay. Diversity means what? Variations. Okay? Diversity means what? Variation. Now, if we see, fine, there is a lot of differences or variations among us. Fine? Or there is a lot of variation between the organisms as well. Okay? If we see the organism or the animal like ant, okay, or whale, giraffe, elephant, humans, are they organisms?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they living or non-living?
Living.
So, how we can classify that these are the livings and these are the non-living? Because there are some characteristics, okay? Based on the characteristics, we have divided them as the living organisms or living things and non-living organisms and non-living things. And which are those characteristics like cellular structure, fine, respiration, digestion, responsiveness to stimuli, growth, reproduction, and death. So these are certain characteristics or criteria which makes us to differentiate the organisms or things as living and non-living. Okay? So it helps us to differentiate. Fine? Now further that, even though they all come in the same group, that all they are living organisms, they differ from each other. They are not exactly same. There are some differences. Okay? So these differences or this variety among them is called as the diversity. Okay? So diversity, it is nothing but the variations or differences among them. Now what is biodiversity? Biodiversity, yes.
Biodiversity is the variation. Biological bodies.
Okay, biodiversity means what? See, on the earth, we are having, just we seen, living and non-living things are present. Okay? When we talked about the living things are animals, plants and microorganisms. Okay? Even though we cannot see them, they are present. Right? So, if we see, these all organisms, they are different. There is a large variety among them. Fine? And this variety among these living organisms which live on earth, it is called as the biodiversity. Now scholars, on earth there are millions of species of plants and animals are present. Okay? And whatever we know some of them. We do not know the 100% species or life forms which are present on the earth. Fine? Now, when we know them, fine, or when we have to study them, we should have some criteria. Like we differentiate the various things. Fine? For example, we differentiate. Now, if you see your class, we have differentiated, or we are having the two divisions based on your subject. Fine, whether it is Hindi or Sanskrit. Why? Because it makes us easy, fine, to follow. Now, when we talked about these living organisms, fine, their classification helps us to study them. So, which criteria do we use for classification? The similarities among them and the differences among them. Okay? So, classification is nothing but the grouping of organisms based on their similarities and differences. Fine? So here, if you see these animals, how you can able to differentiate them or how you can able to classify them? Can we classify them? Some of them they live on land, some of them they live in water. So this could be the criteria. Fine? So classification helps us to study them. Okay? Okay, scholars. So now you can see here are so many different kinds of living organisms are there. Okay. Now if we look at them very closely, they are different from each other. Okay. They are unique in their own way. Fine. So they are having certain special characteristics and they are different from one another. They are not exactly the same. Okay. So every living organism is unique and this uniqueness is the basis of the vast diversity, vast variations among them.
The diversity in the living organisms is the result of evolution that occurred million years ago.
So now from where these variations have come?
Studied by the classification of living organisms.
Okay, so from where these variations or this biodiversity has come or this diversity among these living organisms, it is the result of the evolution which occurred millions of years ago. Now what is the evolution? Evolution means the changes in their body, fine, which has been taking place from last millions of years, which helps them to survive in the particular area or particular climate. Okay, so there are the changes in the body, fine, from generations to generations, from species to species, which help them. And why these changes occur in them? So that they can able to survive. Okay, so that they can able to live on the planet Earth. So this process of changing them, okay, this is the evolution. So this huge biological diversity we can study by the classification of living organisms. Okay, so we can study the biodiversity or biological diversity on what basis? On the basis of the classification.
And the basis of the classification. The classification is the grouping together of organisms on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities.
So classifying means basically what? Classifying means grouping them. Now for grouping them, we have to consider both the criteria. We have to see the similarities between them or among them, and we have to also think about the differences among them. So the similarities or the grouping of organisms based on their similarity and differences, it is called as the classification. Okay? Now let's see what are the criteria or simple criteria for the classification.
One of the earliest classification schemes.
Okay, so who has given the first or earliest of this classification? It is the Aristotle, a Greek philosopher. Okay, he gave the first initial scheme for the classification.
We will study each basis in detail.
Now we will study what are the various criteria for classification. Okay, here are the 4 criteria for the classification. The first one is the type of cell. Okay, now what are the 2 types of cells?
Prokaryotic.
Yes, it's the prokaryotic.
Eukaryotic.
Yes. Now what is the meaning of prokaryotic and eukaryotic? Now if we see, there are some organisms, okay, in which the cells, the nucleus, it is
Well defined.
well defined, okay, with a proper nuclear membrane, as well it has the membrane bound cell organelles. Okay, so the organisms which are having like these cells, okay, they are called as the eukaryotes. So this is one of the criteria for that. That is the type of cell. Whether the cell is prokaryotic, okay, not have well defined nucleus and do not have the membrane bound cell organelles. Okay, if no, then we call those cells as the prokaryotic cells and we call those animals as prokaryotes. For example, bacteria. Okay, and in higher
of the type of the cell.
fine or plants or like that, they are having the well-defined nucleus and the cell organelles. So they are called as the eukaryotes, and the type of cells they are having, it is called as the eukaryotic cell. So this is one of the criteria, that is the type of cells. Now what was the second? Number of cells. So let me write here. Okay. Based on number of cells, we are also having two. The one is the unicellular
Multicellular.
and second one is the multicellular. So this is the second criteria on which we can classify this living organism. Now unicellular, we know that uni means one, okay? So the organisms which are made up of single cell, they are called as the unicellular. And example it is the amoeba. Whereas the organisms which are made of more than one cell, they are called as the multicellular organisms. Okay, for example, humans. So this is also one of the criteria for the classification. What was the third one there?
Mode of nutrition.
Nutrition.
There are some organisms like plants which can make their own food, so they are called as the autotrophs, and their mode of nutrition, it is called as the autotrophic mode of nutrition. And there are some organisms like animals which cannot make their own food, they are dependent on these autotrophs, so they are called as the heterotrophs, and their mode of nutrition is called as the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So this is the third criteria, that is the mode of nutrition. And the fourth
Cell wall.
one is the cell wall. We know that plants, they are having the cell wall. Okay. So this cell wall is also the criteria for the classification of this organism. Okay. So we have seen almost the four criteria. The first one is the type of cell. Second one is the number of cells. The third one is the mode of nutrition. And the fourth one is the cell wall.
Organism has membrane-bound nucleus and
Okay, now let's see what is the definition of evolution. Fine. Organisms, they have similarities and dissimilarities with one another on the basis of their characteristics which change with time. Their characteristics, they get changed with the time. Okay, and the similarities and differences only, we use it for the classification of these organisms. Fine. Now, so what is the evolution? The process of development of newer life forms and characteristics from older ones is called evolution. Now, what do you think? Is it the 1 year or 10-year process of evolution? No. It is a million years process of the evolution. Fine? From generation to generation, fine? They develop the new life form and characteristics, fine, from their older ones. And why do they form these new characteristics? So that they can survive, okay, and they can able to cope up with the surrounding. Fine. So this is about the evolution.